the power of emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is the key to success and fulfillment. It's structured for engagement, reflection, and action. So how do we use emotional intelligence in our everyday life and business? We're going to talk about this when we come back. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for being here.
Welcome to the Your Life Now show, where your life and your business matter. Your host is a certified executive coach and trainer with the passion to help make the difference in the world. Your Life Now show brings you powerful resources and effective tips to help you manage your life and your business at its best. And now, here's your host, Coach Ria.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Your Life Now show, where your life and your business matter. I am your host and executive producer, Ria Wilkie, also known as Coach Ria, the CEO and founder of Your Life Now. Your Life Now is a professional executive coaching, training, marketing, and PR company. On this show, we try to cover a lot of different topics related to our everyday life and business. It's the show where we dive into self-mastery, leadership, and unlocking our full potential. Today, we are talking about a game changer in our personal and professional success. And that is emotional intelligence. What happened when we mastered that? Have you ever been in a situation where emotion took over and you reacted in a way you later regretted? Or maybe you have worked with someone who had incredible technical skills but struggled to connect with people. That's the power or lack of emotional intelligence. We're going to take another short break, and when we come back, we will unlock and unpack the emotional intelligence techniques and how we can start implementing it in our daily life and business. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for being here. Would you like to grow your business and advance professionally? We would love to be of service to you. We are expert in creating the right solutions for you and for your business. At Your Life Now, we know what it takes to succeed and to increase your bottom line and to grow professionally. So for more information, please contact us at yourlifenow.info. Again, that's yourlifenow.info. Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Your Life Now show, where your life and your business matter. I am your host and executive producer, Ria Wilkie, also known as Coach Ria. Today we are talking about a game changer, something that can help us grow personally and professionally in an amazing way if we understand it. But let me first tell you guys, we are actually on a new season here, and the show is always intended to be for information purpose and thought-provoking. We cover a lot of different topics. We invite best-selling authors, thought leaders, and of course, I personally, as a coach, I also share my expertise. If you apply any of the information that is shared here on the show, you are agreeing to take full responsibility. However, we are expert, and we'd love for you to reach to us directly for more information on how we could be of service to you, to your organization, and to your business. So before the show, I kind of gave you an idea what this show is all about. Something that I practice myself, and I also teach, and it's an amazing skills to actually unpack, and learn. So today we are unpacking what emotional intelligence really is, why it matters, and how we can develop it to transform our relationships, leaderships, and even our business. So I'm going to share some practical exercises that we can start using today. But first, let's start by explaining what is emotional intelligence. So let's start with the basics. Emotional intelligence, or abbreviation EQ, is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our emotions, while also being able to recognize, understand, and influence the emotions of others. Let me repeat that again. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our emotions, while also able to recognize, understand, and influence the emotions of others. Psychologist Daniel Goleman popularized the concept and broke it down into 5 core components: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. So let's start with the first one. Self-awareness is the ability to recognize and understand your own emotion in real time. So it starts with the self. It always starts with the self. So again, self-awareness is your ability to recognize and understand your emotions in real time. And then self-regulation. So first you have to be aware. Now how you regulate it. Self-regulation, it's about managing your emotion responses instead of letting them control you. So you know what you hear a lot of time people say, it's about how we react to things that makes it different. So if we are able to manage our emotion responses instead of letting these emotions control our action, we are ahead of the game here. Number 3 is motivation. Using emotional intelligence to drive you toward your goals rather than letting them derail you. So, we had like one-on-one goals and what really matters and how you stay focused on them. But also, when you have the drive, when you you go into it, you put emotion into it, you're feeling, you know exactly what that goals means to you when you accomplish it. Rather than letting these goals derail you. You go all over the place. So, staying focused. So it's actually definitely a great motivation to learn how to, of course, use, when you use it, emotional intelligence. Empathy, not sympathy, empathy. We have to create that. I mean, in everyday life, when you empathize with others, when you empathize with other people's feeling, you're really kind of on the understanding side here instead of just making a judgment. So empathy is understanding and feeling what others experience. You just listen. When you listen, this is how we learn to be actually empathized, to learn to listen. Listen what others have to say, and listen with the intention to understand, not to reply, because then you can understand their own feeling and what they're experiencing. And then also another core component of emotional intelligence is social skills. How to navigate through a relationship, how do you communicate, and how to influence effectively. My background is in corporate sales and training, And I also provide that as a coach now in my business. And I can tell you, this is a huge, when we understand how to build relationship, how to communicate, because communication is the key to success in every way. And then how to able to influence effectively. That means how you get your point across effectively and people understand and they want to do business with you. And I can give you an example. When I used to go on a sales call, a lot of time, I'm sitting with executives and I'm talking, on decision making and everything, and we lay out everything, right? So you are my potential client, and I am presenting you with a solution, and then I want to ask for your business. So one of the things is, first of all, you have to communicate what they said to you, right? So all the fact-finding that you found, you reinstated that, you communicate that back to them, understanding, is this true? Is this what you mentioned? Was there anything else that I did not, understand, or was there anything else you need to add? And if the answer is yeah, everything is fine, everything is correct, now you move on to the next step, which is the closing. Now that I provided you with every possible solution, how I could be of service to your company, to your organization, is there a reason why we cannot do business today? Today, not wait for future time, today. Now what you're doing, you're influencing the decision making. You laying it out exactly how it's, how it's supposed to be. And then if there is any last minute objection, you can handle it right there and then and move on. Hopefully successfully. And it, honestly, not to brag, it always worked. And it's the techniques that I teach, techniques that I've used, and I know it works very, very, very well. Now, here's a question for you. Which of these core components do you feel strongest in? Which one do you feel like you have the strength in? And which one do you need to work on the most? Take a moment to reflect on that. While we're doing that, let's take a short break, and I'm going to leave you with that so you can think about it. Which of these areas do you feel the strongest? And which one do you think you need to work on the most? We'll be right back. Thank you so much for being here.
Your Life Now radio show with Coach Rhea will return in just a few moments.
Are you ready to take your leadership to the next level? Let's connect. Please visit our website at yourlifenow.info to book a private consultation. Because true leadership isn't just about success, it's about mastery. Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Your Life Now show, where your life and your business matter. I am your host and executive producer, Rhea Wilkie, also known as Coach Rhea. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting the show. We are live on the air, and we also wanted to mention that this podcast is available everywhere you get your podcasts. So we do appreciate your support there. So you can listen to the show directly on our website at yourlifenow.info. You can listen at Apple Podcasts, Apple Music, Spotify, iHeart, and everywhere you get your podcasts. Please support this show. We really love for you to give us some support. Thank you so much for being here. So before the break, I left you with a question. And I asked if you wanted to, let me repeat the question. So we talked about the components, the categories, the core components of emotional intelligence as the psychologist Daniel Goleman had popularized, and how he put it out. And it was self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills And, of course, I explained everything in detail. And I asked you a question before the break, and that question was, which of these areas do you feel strongest in, and which one you need to work on the most? I hope you had a chance to think about it. And now, of course, I welcome you. I honestly feel like, I keep saying, contact us for more details, because you know what? We can learn a lot of things, and information is available everywhere. We can Google it, the AI give you anything that you want to have. But when you have someone who holds you accountable, somebody who actually teach you the techniques and the skills so you can practice it, like I done with my own mentor as well. And this is what I've been doing this for almost, I don't want to give my age up, but for a long time. And so we are expert at what we do, and we love to hear from you. And again, you can contact me. I know I'm working on my website right now, riawilke.com, but as of right now, you can contact us directly at the Your Life Now show at yourlife.info. Again, that's yourlifenow.info. So now we're going to go into why emotional intelligence matter. Talked about self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. These are so important. So if we master these, we are ready to go. So now we understand a little bit, right, about what emotional intelligence is. But why does emotional intelligence matters? Because success, it's not about IQ or technical skills. It's about how we interact, lead, and make decisions. Again, emotional intelligence matters because it's not just about how smart and intelligent you are. Of course, that would help. Or how your technical skills are. It's a lot more than that. It's about how we interact with each other, with our business partner, with everyday people that we meet, how we lead, right? And how we make decisions. So something to consider. So study shows that 90% of top performers in any industry have high emotional intelligence. Think about that. 90%. This is something that I have gathered this information, so I'm telling you something that you can search it and you will find that answer. 90% of top performers. Why is that, right? They have high emotional intelligence because they know how to self-reflect. They recognize and understand their emotions. They know how to manage their emotions and responses. They know how to use their own emotion to drive toward their goals rather than letting their goals derail them. They have empathy. They understand, pardon me, and feel for others very well. And they also know how to build a relationship and communicate and influence effectively. So consider that. Also consider that leaders with high emotional intelligence, or EQ, create more engaged, motivated teams. I'm all about building teams, so hire me. I can tell you how to build a great team. So leaders with high emotional intelligence create more engaged, motivated teams. Something to consider. People with strong emotional intelligence, or I'm going to keep saying EQ, have better relationships, less stress, and more resilience. People always ask, why are you always so happy? Well, because, I spend so much time, and I still do, day in and day out, understanding my emotion, understand other people, and, we're not going to figure it all out. It's a learning process, but the more we are in tune and understanding our emotions, we know how to understand other people's emotion as well. So having better relationship, less stress, and more resilient. Does not sound great? I know it does. So think about that. These are things to consider. Think about the last time you had conflict at work or in your own personal life. How did you handle it? Think about it. Did you react emotionally? Or did you take a step back, assess, and respond intentionally? So here's, I call it the rule of life, right? Count to 10 before you respond. At least give yourself a chance to sort of analyze before you respond, react instead of, being a little bit more conscious of your, what you're going to do next. So count to 10. It works every time. Really just simple technique, but a very powerful technique. So the way you manage emotion in those moments, it really determines the quality of your leadership, your relationships, and overall well-being. Consider that. We explained what emotional intelligence is, or EQ is, and some of the core component of it, and how we can, what area we are strong in and what area we're not, and what we can work on, and how we actually respond to certain things in our, business and our life, personal life. Now we're gonna go into the action. What can we do right now to become an expert in emotional intelligence, and how we develop, not because it's already there. It's just how we develop emotional intelligence. So practical, I always say practice makes perfect, right? But I didn't say that. Everybody says that. I can tell you, I've learned so much stuff, so many things in my college, in my undergrad, in my grad, in everyday life by practicing. And the more we practice, the better we get at it. So now let's talk practical. I'm going to give you 3 ways where you can start building your emotional intelligence today. How would you like that? So we know some of the core component of emotional intelligence. Now let's start practicing some of these things, right? Practicing self-awareness, which is really, really huge. It's very important that we learn how to practice, self-awareness. I do this again. If you hear me before and it sounds like a broken record, it just journaling. So important. If you want to you understand yourself better, write things down. Start journaling your emotions. I do this every day. I do this like when I get up in the morning and I start my journals right there, and I'm like right there and I start writing things down. And just asking questions. I always say, everything, awareness to start with simple question and lead to higher awareness. So start journaling. Because when you start journaling your emotion, you understand what triggers you. You understand what's going on with you. And it starts again with simple question. How am I feeling right now? What am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling this way? You can, again, these are things that you can start writing down and, practice them yourself. How am I feeling? What am I feeling? And why am I feeling this way? Write these questions down and you'll be surprised how you have the answers. In my coaching practice, for those who have worked with me in the past, they understand I'm all about you having the answer. I'm not going to give you the answer. I'm just going to show you the way to ask the right questions so you can have the answer. So when you ask these simple questions, to practicing self-awareness by understanding your own feelings and what triggers certain things and certain emotion, and understanding also, this is a very, very, very important question to ask yourself. Is this emotion serves you or controls you?
Your Life Now radio show with Coach Rhea will return in just a few moments.
executives, leaders, decision makers, are you operating at your highest level? As an executive coach, I specialize in high performance leadership. I help top professionals like yourself sharpen their decision making, elevate strategic thinking, and lead with unwavering confidence. In today's fast-paced world, the right mindset is not optional, it's essential. My coachings give you the clarity, energy, and tools to break through limitation and lead with impact. So ready to take your leadership to the next level? Let's connect. Please visit our website at yourlifenow.info and book a private consultation. Because true leadership is not just about success, it's about mastery. Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Your Life Now show with your host, Coach Ria. Thank you so much for being here. We are talking about EQ, emotional intelligence, and we stepped before the break and start doing the practical, how we can start practicing. That's the practical, how we practice and strengthen our emotional intelligence. So we talked about the practicing self-awareness by starting journaling and asking the question, what triggers certain emotions. Now we're going to develop our emotional agility. What does that mean? Instead of reacting impulsively, maybe we can pause, take a deep breath, and ask, what is the best response here? This simple pause can change everything. We talked about counting to 1 to 10 before you respond. And one more thing, strengthen empathy. This is really also very important. The next time someone speaks, really listen. Try to really, really listen instead of thinking about what to say next. Listen with your ear and ask yourself, what are they feeling? What underneath these words? These small shifts, these simple practical techniques can lead to big transformation. Emotional intelligence is something are not born with it. It's something you build. So we're going to build that, right? Now we're going to jump into the leadership and business connection. If you are a leader, a business owner, or someone aiming to make an impact, emotional intelligence is your secret weapon. Again, if you are a leader, a business owner, or someone wants to make an impact, emotional intelligence is your secret weapon. Because leaders with high EQ, high emotional intelligence, inspire rather than dictate. Again, leaders with high IQ, I keep saying IQ, EQ, inspires rather than dictate. I remember working with a client, and when you view yourself as a boss versus a leader is a completely different sense of, you basically, as a boss, you dictate what's going to happen. When you're a leader, you lead with the intention, again, to empathize, to understand emotion, to listen, all these things. So leaders with high EQ inspire rather than dictate. If you're an entrepreneur, I love this one. Entrepreneurs with high EQ attract the right people, clients, investors, and team. And I am one of the examples of this, happened to me so many times. Strengthen your emotional intelligence strengthen yourself and how you feel and how empathizing with others and all these things, and see what happened. See the transformation. See how you attract the right people, clients, investors, and teams. Put it to the test. Hire me to show you how you can do that as well. Coaches, consultants, coaches like myself, consultants like myself with high EQ create breakthrough for their clients. And I, again, my clients can speak for that as well, how I help them. So, and coaches and consulting, if you think you need some help in this area, reach out. I can teach you the skills so you can practice it yourself. So here are my challenge for you now. This week, this is a weekly show podcast. And this week, I would like you to focus on one EQ skill. One emotional intelligence skill, whether it's self-awareness, regulation, or empathy. Observe the changes in how you interact with people, how you handle stress, and how you make decisions. Write things down. Journaling, notebook, whatever form. Make sure that you actually document these things so you can look at them and see what you need to work on most. So we're going to close with this simple explanation, simple way to look at it. Emotional intelligence is not just about managing emotions. It's about mastering yourself so you can lead, connect, and thrive in every area of your life. What are your biggest takeaway from today's episode? Write them down. Reach out to me. I love for you to reach out to me. DM me on social media. Leave me a comment. Interact with me and let me know what you think and what you need help with. I would love to hear your insight. And if you found this episode valuable, please share. Share it with a friend or colleague who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on iTunes. And don't think about it in a complicated way. It's really very simple. Listen to that episode. Again, listen to it more than once. And when you have a question, reach out. And I will see you next time for another deep dive into self-mastery and success. And until then, stay aware, stay intentional, and keep raising your emotional intelligence. See you soon, everyone. And one more thing, it takes collaboration and mutual agreement to make the impossible possible. So go ahead. Create great relationship and collaboration and make the impossible possible. Look for insight, be present, and be all that you will to be. Much love to all.